and a pair of keen listening ears, will take you there. Okay, the first paper on call today would be the Punch. The Punch newspaper leads with this one. Horrible, death toll in Plateau attacks hits 52. Well, that figure is alarming, and what can I say about the orgy of killings in the Middle Belt region of my country? It's been a long time coming, and so to have this harvest of deaths in my country, more so in peacetime, should be revolting to many of us. So that's the lead story on the front page of the Punch. Other stories, this one, Tinubu hails Asiwaju of Ijebu land at Degunwa at 80. So it tells you the title Asiwaju is conveyed on deserving personalities, male or female. So there's an Asiwaju of Ijebu land at Degunwa. He has clocked 80. And so Mr. President is saying, welcome aboard. I'm coming behind you, so to speak. Okay. 2 die as police rescue 14 abducted Benue bus passengers. Still talking about the ugly harvest of deaths in my country. So kidnappers are still on the prowl. It's a crazy commentary, and a country still trying to find its feet at close to 65 years of countryhood. Yeah. PDP, Igodalo's appeal will crash, says Okwebolo. Well, these are politicians talking. Of course, you know that the results of the Edo State Governorship Tribunal had been released some days back. The PDP is disagreeing with the results, and whereas Governor Okwebolo and his teaming supporters are rejoicing, the PDP are saying, no, we won't take it. All right. So read that up also in the Punch. Federal government to establish additional gemstones jewelry making centers. Tells you and I that my country is rich in gemstones and related gems, that we cannot exploit them to advantage continues to boggle the mind, So there's a plan afoot to establish additional gemstones and jewelry making centers. My country is rich in these things. Maximum tears. Lagos commuters groan as Independence Bridge closure bites hard. What an experience this was. I thought I heard the bridge has been reopened to ameliorate the situation. Okay. Oyo tightens security ahead of Alafin's Saturday coronation. It's coronation day at Oyo, Oyo town in Oyo state. The Alafin, one of the prominent stools in the Yoruba country, Beg your pardon. The Alafin is one of the prominent stools in the Yoruba country. The installation of a new Alafin is built for today, and security ahead of the D-Day has been tightened, and why not? Okay, foreign trips. Opposition accuses Tinubu Shetima of wasteful spending. The debate about this, I dare say, is interminable. Does the president need to travel out? If he does need to travel out along with his number two man, is the state supposed to write off the bills? Opposition groups in my country don't like this. Have you heard this? I wasn't aware of Independence Bridge closure. Works Minister Umahi is expressing this surprise. I'm surprised. I'm shocked at his surprise. Well, now he's aware. So what happens? Okay, we may not have heard the last regarding the Natasha saga. Natasha hails INEC for rejecting recall bid, mocks detractors. Because this a crazy season in my country, and anything is possible. All right, we'll move to the Vanguard, beg your pardon, from the Punch. We'll go to the Vanguard. The lead story is this one. Rivers. Court slates April 10 to hear suit against Tinubu, Ibas, and others. So, whereas the emergency in Rivers State was pronounced a week or two ago or more, litigation concerning it will never stop. So the Federal High Court, sitting at Abuja, has fixed April 10 to hear the suit that's seeking to sack the state administrator of Rivers State, Vice Admiral Ibawete Ibas, retired. So read that up in the Vanguard this morning. Other stories to choose from. Naira depreciates, goes down or slumps to 1,600 Naira to the dollar in official market. Begs the question, so who or what saves the national currency? To think that the Naira was a currency of choice years ago, and that we dropped the ball, and today we are living near beggarly lives. So, read that up in the Vanguard too. We are senior citizens, not senior miscreants. Lagos pensioners appeal to Sanwo-Olu over unpaid benefits. Well, we had always talked about giving pensioners their dues. And so when it gets to a stage where pensioners are begging government over unpaid benefits to them, begs the question, are we losing our humanity? Could this be true? That story in the Vanguard this morning. We are senior citizens, not senior miscreants. Lagos pensioners appeal to Sanwo-Olu over unpaid benefits. Let me take you to Anambra State. Now, Anambra Court orders continued detention of 3 native doctors at Agune Chamber facility. Are you familiar with the story, the saga? The native doctor saga in Anambra. Read that up and get the details. Okay. Benue police rescues 13 victims of ambushed Benue Links bus. Of course, we talked about it earlier on. Kidnappers struck somewhere in Benue State, ambushed a Benue Links luxury bus, and police have rescued 13 victims of that ambush. Somebody will kill you if you criticize me in Auchi. Apostle Suleiman boast of loyalty from followers. Hmm. And this one, 2014 World Cup winner Hummels to retire at season's end. Hummels is a great giant politician. I'm sorry, Hummels is a great World Cup football star. He's built to retire at the end of the season, sometime in May. Okay. Anambra poll, Soludo picks nomination form cleared to contest ABGA primary. I needn't to remind you that Charles Chukwuma is the incumbent governor of Anambra State, so he has picked his nomination form for his ABGA party. All right. Leadership tussle. Labour Party factions hail Supreme Court judgment, claim victory. Another story in the Vanguard is this one. Supreme Court voids verdict recognizing Abure as LP's national chairman. At a time season like this, you wonder who is saying what. Well, if you get a copy of the Vanguard, you'll come to terms with the gist. I thought the Apex Court had removed Abure as the national chairman of the Labour Party. We're reading something new today. Vanguard newspaper has the details. All right. INEC explains why bid to recall Akpoti Uduaghan failed. Well, that's the unfolding saga of the Kogi Central Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan. INEC is explaining why an attempt to recall her from the Senate failed. It's instructive for you to read that up in the Vanguard. Bode George to Tinubu, Nigeria's democracy at risk over Rivers Natasha saga. Well, Bode George is an elder statesman. He's a PDP chieftain. And so when he weighs in into national discourses, we listen to him. Okay, U.S. tariffs. My policies will never change, Trump tells investors. Anybody who believed Trump was going to back down on his tariff on his tariff war should think again. The man says, I'll never change. Okay. Court orders final forfeiture of Abuja Kano property linked to FIR staff member. A staff member of the Federal Inland Revenue Service in the Abuja Kano corridor had been a source of litigation. It went to court, and court has ordered a final forfeiture of that property. So read up about that. Know who is involved. Know what is involved in the Vanguard newspaper. Trump's tariff. Oil price slides 6.8% to $69.90 per barrel. So the tariff was going to affect something somewhere. Okay. We're done with the Vanguard now. Let's move to the Nation newspaper. The Nation leads with this one. Tinubu appoints Abdul Salam, MD of Ajokuta Steel Company. Of course, you realize that, or recall that Ajokuta, like the Delta Steel Company at Warri in Delta State, have been in the news for a while now. So, the Ajokuta Steel Company has been given a new CEO. He is Abdul Salam. The story is in the Nation newspaper today. 2 APC aspirants withdraw from Anambra governor primary election. Are you an Anambrarian? You are interested in the story, go to the Nation newspaper. The details are there. Grenade explosion kills scavenger, injures others in Lagos. Well, it is frightening to realize that while scavengers go about trying to make a daily living, that what they probe into to recover things has a bomb in it. Another story here in the Nation. Federal government moves to activate climate change fund. Now you know that some funds are going to that direction that enterprise is on. So federal government is trying to give life to that fund. Okay. Wike questions University of Abuja landmass. Well, the University of Abuja has been on for a while now, and that the land on which the university sits is in question. Boggles the mind. What are the details? Read the Nation today. Lagosians commend police on security demand better welfare for operatives. Well, there had been this interminable debate on how to make policing interesting, because it should be so for operatives, officers and men. So the story in the Nation tells you and I that Lagosians are commending the police on security. They demand better welfare for operatives. At least we are getting somewhere. Okay, just in. Court bars parties from granting interviews in Natasha's case against Akpabio and others. They need to apply the brakes in that saga. Is there, so the court has put a stamp on it, so no interviews from any of the parties. This one, I just talked about it. Supreme Court sets aside judgment recognizing Abure as Labour Party's national chairman. Of course, the keen watchers will be interested in the unfolding drama. Or is it a melodrama? Okay. So, something interesting here. Looks like an opinion piece in the Nation. Is the APC wooing Oborevori? That is the APC wooing or trying to attract Governor Oborevori of Delta State. That's another story to pick from. Why APC must get it right in Anambra. That's another story. Okay, we are done with the nation. Shall we try another paper? The Daily Post is here. The Daily Post leads with a howler. Atiku denies resigning from the PDP. Former presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has denied resigning from the party. Okay. How did it get to start? Tinubu appoints Ayo Shotirin as managing director, Bank of Agriculture. So more appointments in the air. Seek to know who is involved and what it takes. Benue Links condemns attack on company bus by herdsmen, condoles victims. Need I say more about that? No. Okay. You are listening to newspaper headliners from the Voice of the People Radio, 90.3 FM on the dial. And time is 23 minutes past 7. More stories from the Daily Post. Gunmen hijack fully loaded bus, killed driver, kidnap passengers in Otukpo, Benue. I hope we are not talking about the same thing. If it's another, then these are crazy times for us. And in like manner, neighboring Plateau attacks. Death toll hit 60 in 1 week. And I hope we are not still counting. Hope we are not still counting. All right. Talk of annexing Greenland unacceptable. Incoming Prime Minister Nielsen says Greenland is one of those territories President Trump is eyeing. Remember, he talked earlier about changing the Gulf of Mexico and so on. So, tells you President Trump has something new on his sleeves. FCT, Wike threatens to revoke undeveloped University of Abuja land. Perhaps we are getting another perspective, a different slant to the story. So, the University of Abuja, from the story, has a parcel of land that's still undeveloped, and Minister Nyesom Wike is threatening to revoke the land. All right, Governor Alia pledges to restore peace in Benue. I wish him more than Godspeed. And I can hear you say amen to that. Okay. Anambra Guba, Soludo picks forms for ABGA primary election. Okay. Anambra APC primaries. Paul Chukuma resigns from party. Now you are getting home. We are homing in on the dramatis personae in that matter. Okay. Kogi APC zonal vice chairman is dead. Our heart will go out to the family members and extended family too. Okay. Naira continues depreciation, ends week on negative note. A story like this would not gladden many souls, especially now that we are fighting to revive the national currency. All right, from the Daily Post, we'll take on another paper here. The next paper here is, let's see now. Okay. Perhaps we might go back to the Vanguard. The Vanguard has this Uromi killings, or Uromi killing, untold story of how villagers identified some of them as kidnappers before lynching. Please get a copy of the Vanguard, read the story, know the contexts to it, please, before you draw a conclusion. And this one, Dangote Otedola Adenoga Rabi's fortunes soar. It means they keep making money. Are you interested? Get a lowdown on that in the Vanguard today. Oyo set for Alafin Owuade's coronation today. We had told you about the coronation of a new Alafin of Oyo in Oyo State. It is today, so every road will lead to Oyo town, the ancient town, for the coronation of the Alafin. Okay. Killings in Benue Plateau by armed herdsmen deserve attention as Urumi incident. Just like Urumi incident, killings in Benue Plateau deserve attention too. I couldn't agree more with that. Okay. And this happy one, Umahi reopens Independence Bridge in Lagos, promises permanent fix soon. At least this will reduce tension in that part of town. Minister of Works has reopened the bridge. Okay. Leadership tussle. Labour Party factions hail Supreme Court judgment, claim victory. Okay. That I think will just about do it regarding that. Okay then, we will change gears now and allow you, the listener, take over the microphone. Tell us what story or stories caught your fancy and how you are reacting to them. So the telephone number you already know, 0803 for the newcomer, 0803 692 9933. Let's get to hear how you react to this story, some of the stories we shared. Yeah. The line is live, so we'll go there and take the first listener. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Jones. Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
My name is Robert. My reaction is on this Uromi killing. I
On
think
this what?
when the Uromi killing, this Uromi
Okay.
killing,
Okay.
I believe the president did not swear to protect some part of the country. He swore to protect the entire country in terms of security. And if you look at this thing, they not are threatening a reprisal attack. So I don't expect him to have traveled out of this country on a working visit. What kind of working visit is he talking about? I don't understand.
So are you reacting to the visit or the Uromi?
I'm reacting to both at the same time.
No. React to
Okay,
the
let me
stories.
react
React to
to the
the
visit. Let me
stories
react.
I shared with you, please. Don't take me your way, please. Thank you.
Hello?
All right. 0803 692 9933. I've shared some stories with you. Let's go there. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Citizen Jones.
Welcome, sir.
My name is Peter Usifo.
Okay,
I'm calling from Abanja, Nikoton.
All right, then.
Yeah. On the judgment by the court which has debarred Consul Akpabio and Senator Natasha and their cohorts not to go to the media again and address the press is very welcome, very much commendable. In fact, they have been hitting the politics. So they should now face the face of nation building and, of course, legislature or legislating as it were. Instead of that, then for Abure, Julius Abure, I think this is also welcome. This is victory for democracy. But those people who have been saying that the judiciary has been bought over, by the president, should think twice this time around because it favors them. This is the time for P2B to bring the centrifugal forces in Labour Party and unite them as the leader of the party. Otherwise,
Thank you.
We will not take him
60
serious.
seconds now.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. It's your opportunity to react to the story or stories we shared. Good morning. Welcome.
Hello, Citizen James. Good morning. My name is Peter Monse from Shomolu. Please, sir, I think I heard you talk about PDP, opposition party, not being happy with the traveling of Tinubu, that is a waste of public fund. I think I heard something like that.
No.
I want to say not only opposition party. I, Peter Monse, I'm not happy with all this wasteful traveling. What is he doing? What kind of working visit is he doing in France? Does he have a farm there that is working in the farm? Or does he have a factory there that is working in the factory? Why can't he sit down here in Nigeria and work in Nigeria? And go around and visit states in Nigeria and work in Nigeria? You see all these things, I know it will not be forever. One day, he will leave that place. And then let me see how he will be working in France. Have a nice weekend. Thank you.
All right. The line is still here. 003 692 9933. Hello, good morning to you.
I did not finish my submission before the line cut me off. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, please
So
hold on. Deal with the story I shared with you. Please don't.
I said the Uromi killing now is not threatening reprisal attack. And
have you read the story? Have you read the story I shared? Please.
It's something that the president will have sit down here and tackle.
Please. react to the story I shared or stories I shared. Don't give me your own story. The Constitution does not permit you to do that. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah,
Adjourns.
I greet you, sir.
I cannot hear you, but let me go ahead. You pronounce my governor, the governor of Delta State. You don't pronounce it properly. So the name is Obolewoli. Obolewoli, that's what you have. Obolewoli.
Okay.
So what belongs to you.
Thank you.
Belongs to you. So please, point of correction. The other thing I want to add is that make this municipal review title session not aggressive manner. Thank you.
Newspaper headliners still on the Voice of the People Radio, 90.3 FM. Good morning to you.
Hello?
Yeah, I greet you. Welcome.
Hello?
Welcome.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go on. Please. I think there's a glitch somewhere. It's not my doing. If you call in and I activate your call, go on. I may not be able to you may not be able to hear me. Go on. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello?
Yeah, welcome.
Citizen Jones.
I greet you, sir. Go on. Good morning. Welcome. Hello, are you there? Are you there?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
Citizen Jones.
Yes, sir.
See, you are saying that people should react on the matter you brought in. What's the problem of the president? And what are things they are saying? I saw it in the paper. Let me tell you, the president is not doing well. He is supposed to be here and tackle the problems we're having. Traveling to do what? He will borrow money, he will travel to buy property and come back here. He tell us he travel. To do what? To work what? In which country? Is that man is supposed to be living? Let him come here, sit down and do his work.
Well, I dare say your submission is muffled, you know. I hope you are not creating the impression that I asked Mr. President to travel out. I'm only sharing what you're giving me is a commentary. Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Citizen Jones.
I greet you, sir. Go on.
Good morning.
Welcome, I can hear you.
Yeah, there is something I want to talk about. Now, so many people are blaming President Trump for the tariff he's implementing, but he's trying to better the lives of the economy and the lives of the people in the US. Now, look at what you reported this morning, that the naira to dollar is 1,600. Can you hear me?
Go on.
Yeah, now, if you say our naira is depreciating, what is the financial institution of the Federal Republic doing? If you are not doing anything, we are not manufacturing anything, we are not producing anything, how do we expect our economy to grow? Which is almost impossible. Now, Trump is putting up all these tariffs. That is to make the country citizen to buy their own products. What is the federal government doing in this line to make sure that our economy grow? Now, the president has traveled out with all these challenges, killings everywhere and every other thing. He is not doing anything. Yes, he's trying, but he needs to do more and more so that the lives of the citizens will be better off, better than the way it is right now. And for the food that we are praising the government that it is going down, let us take note that as the dollar is increasing, food prices will also skyrocket because fuel is an engine room to the economy of this country. So if they don't do anything about the Naira dollar stuff, we will always face a crisis in the development of this country. Good morning.
Good morning too. Let me quickly add that the national currency of a country is only saved, is rescued when you indulge in aggressive production activity. You know, we were there before. So how we dropped the ball is my pain here. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning. Sorry about that. Good morning.
Welcome.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go on. Can you hear me too?
Can you hear me, sir?
I can't, but can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you a little. It's just that the network is somehow bad. But let me manage. I just want to concur to what some of our contributors are saying. You see, any man that his house is on fire and the person is chasing out, I don't think he fits to be called a man. Our dear president, I don't know, sorry to say this, he's flying up and down, can never help this
What
country.
story are you reacting to? What story? What story?
If they are really...
No, you are not reacting to a story. You are telling me a different story. Please. We should meet somewhere in the middle. At least I'm speaking English. You can understand me. I shared stories, so react to the story. Don't give me an opinion. Thank you. The line 0803 692 9933. This is designed to make you react to the stories in the newspapers which I shared with you earlier on. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Hello?
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
Okay, the line is active, so let's go there. Good morning to you.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Welcome.
We are too rude to people. We are too rude to people.
What do you mean by too rude? What am I rude to you by activating your line? Hello, good morning. Are you there? Okay then.
Can I go on?
Go on.
My one statement is this. I want to talk about this argument of Abure versus Labour Party. Abure, the Lincoln has spoken. He said, Mr. Man, said to fight like real opposition to oppose the ruling government. By the way, we put the government on their toe. And finally, Natasha and the Akpabio. Yes, if you have a case, go to a court. It's only court that can determine what is going on between two of them. Because they are talking now, you don't want drama on the page of the newspaper or the television. Go to court and take your state, your fighting to the court and let God determine what is going on. We need peace in Nigeria. No matter to you, my dearest sister.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Welcome. Okay, we have room for more calls. Folks, share your perspectives with me on the stories you heard this morning. Let me inform you, I never manufactured the stories. The stories are online. You can access them. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, it's yours. I can't hear you, but
go on.
Let me go ahead. My name is Chike. I'm calling from Apapa.
All right then.
Yeah, there is a headline you read about, something like Lagosians hyping the policemen. I'm not part of them. The reason is because there is these occultic people killing. I don't know whether they're killing themselves, but Lagos State police, the commissioner of police, is supposed to do something about court in Lagos. They're supposed to profile the cultic people as a terrorist. The way they are killing people is uncalled for, and policemen are sweeping the activities of these guys under carpet. In Ikorodu, where I was born and brought up, near my supermarket yesterday, a court group come and decided to take something from the neighbor supermarket, and the guy wanted to resist them, and they shot that guy instantly. So policemen in Lagos should do something about the court boys. The activities of these guys are becoming unbecoming.
Thank you.
So I'm not part of the people who is the Lagosian who is hyping them for whatever thing. Let them look into courtism. Something is going on in Lagos, and the policemen are looking the other way.
60 seconds are up. Thank you. What do you yourself say to the stories we have shared? Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Citizen Jones.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
I can. Go on. Can you hear me?
Okay. Patrick is calling from Okota.
Okay.
Yeah, the issue of the killings in Nigeria. I hope I'm picking a story here now. Killings are becoming so rampant that it's like our security structure has been overstretched. It is high time we sit down as a country and address this issue of killings and insecurity as a whole. This latest one that has happened, that seems there's a quiet retaliatory attack, but it is not in the news. But on social media, we are seeing all these things. I'm calling on the leadership of the country to sit down and discuss seriously about the welfare of this country, because citizens are just at risk everywhere. I'm not happy at all as a Nigerian.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. I am not happy either. I couldn't be. Okay, we have room for 1-2 more calls. Hello, good morning to you.
We should go to APC, Abby.
Hello. All right. 0803 692 9933. Good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother.
I greet you.
I greet you from Zion.
Welcome.
May God bless me and you. In Jesus' name.
Yeah, help keep the noise.
So you were saying something about the Edo State right now. Are you hearing me?
Go on, sir.
So as a matter of fact, as a true Edo State man, my name is Prince Okokobioko. You understand me? The governor of Edo State, he erred 100%. Why will you go and beg the people of Kano State? See, they say desperate disease need a desperate cure. Edo boys are waiting for them. How can you leave your house and say you want to be committing crime and the government is looking at you, then the people will keep quiet? You think Benin people are just Akamu people? They are prepared for you people too. If you leave your house and come to Edo State, are you not carrying your head?
I hope you are listening to yourself.
You are carrying your head.
I hope you are listening to yourself. I am listening to myself too. I don't know what your story is attempting to achieve. Edo State governor traveled to see his Kano State counterpart to douse tension, and you are saying Edo boys are waiting for them. So what do I take that for? Please, don't take me there. Good morning, sir. Hello, I've activated your line. You are on air.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we in business?
And listen, she's a girl.
Yeah, go on, sir.
Yeah. Well done for your job. She said, I don't like the way you talk to people. You're very rude to people.
I'm rude to you now. Am I rude to you now?
Huh? You're very rude to people. I don't like the way you.
All right. I'm very rude to people. Telling people to do the right thing means I'm rude. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Yeah, Alaba Alapa is my name. Wishing from Mojo in Lagos. Sir, the one I would take is concerning the madness killing going on in Plateau State.
Oh, yeah.
What is really happening? Some of us have been demanding for state and community policing. What is delaying that bill? What is delaying the process? We cannot continue living in denial. These are our leaders. If everybody, they kill everybody, who are they going to be governing on? So the madness happening in Plateau State should stop. They should look for means. We need state and community policing. This current policing structure and our army, they have been overwhelmed. Let them give us another way so that we can be protected. The madness in Plateau should stop. Too much and becoming too much. Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, folks, we'll apply the brakes here, but not before my humbly appealing to the listener. You have a choice. Voice of the People FM was established to give a voice to you and you and you. But then it was not established to play without respect for the rules of broadcasting. So a lot of you insist I'm rude to people. If doing the right thing means rudeness to you, I'm sorry about it. But the rule is the rule, because when the NBC, who is the regulator, or the DSS, the enforcer, comes here to strike, none of you will come and do anything. The program is newspaper headliners. We share stories, react to the stories, not you giving me your own story, how it should be said. And I want to remind the listener, in Rwanda, a broadcaster went on air and said silly things, incongruous things, and the country went on a killing binge. Close to 1 million Tutsis were killed in that country because of a broadcast from a radio station. So I joined radio and agreed to play by the rules. Forgive me for sticking to the rules. I'm out of here. Our next show is 5 minutes away. All right, folks, we are stepping into the second offering for today. Citizen Jones this morning. What happens on the show is simple. We interrogate any issue or issues that get thrown up by my country, your country, at us, good or evil. Okay? Today, shakeup at NNPCL between an overhaul and breaking a jinx. Okay, I hope you got that right. Shakeup and at NNPCL between an overhaul and breaking a jinx. You know, a man's mind, we are told, would gradually refuse to make itself up until it is compelled by an emergency. So trifling with the NNPCL, a goose that lays the golden egg, was going to haunt us to a point of no return. It is said that in an emergency, you act first and think later. Oil and gas industry experts would readily tell you that a shakeup was possible at the state-owned oil company. And so Mr. President had to take the bull by the horns, as they say. Decision-making, I must tell you, and problem-solving are not the same thing. To solve a problem, one needs to find a solution. To make a decision, one needs to make a choice. The number one citizen, relying on his powers under Section 59(2) of the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA 2021, went for a decision. So a change of guards at the NNPCL was the way to go. The group Chief Executive Officer Malam Melekiari was removed, and in his place, Engineer Bayo Ojulari was mentioned. As well, Board Chairman Chief Pius Akiyelure was kicked for a new one, Engineer Amadou Kida. Well, the sweeping shakeup, effective April 2nd, 2025, ushers in a new 11-man board, including 6 board members representing the country's geopolitical zones. And with an expected shakeup now in place, one hopes the jinx in the oil and gas sector would be broken once and for all time. Let's go there. I have gentlemen who have versed in these matters, so let's meet and greet them. In no particular order, I say good morning to chartered accountant, national affairs commentator, and oil industry player, Akin Fatunke. Mr. Fatunke, I greet you. Welcome. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Citizen Jones. Always a pleasure to be here, and good morning or whatever time our listeners are listening to whatever part of the world.
Okay.
God bless you.
Okay. Akin is joined by a fellow chartered accountant, political commentator, and a national affairs, international affairs analyst. To me, Olowe. To me, good morning to you.
Good morning, Citizen Jones, and good morning to our listeners.
So, gentlemen, you have heard it. Shake-up at NNPCL between an overhaul and breaking a jinx. Let's go there.
Breaking a jinx. Time will tell. But I think we embarked on the very right trajectory. Whether that jinx is now going to be broken will now depend on you and I. And when I say you and I, I'm talking about us. Because in everything, we not only read political, sectional meanings to what happens. However, it takes a heart and a mind of gold, single-minded, knowing fully well that he's on the right path even though some toes might be stepped upon. Take this. For close to 15 years, I can tell you 15 years, that will also include the time of Yaradua, perhaps Goodluck Jonathan, Buhari, and now we are back to Obasanjo. The cry out there has been constitute the governing board amongst so many.
Governing board of the NNPCL.
NNPCL, you know, the parastatals.
Okay.
Agencies and departments of government, of which, of course, you know, NNPCL is the crown jewel. We haven't gotten it right. It is usually when one comes, you get what you call political appointments. Now, what has happened is political appointments, but there is a difference between political appointments and political technical appointments. This time around, for the very first time, I can say, even if it's going to be like a bias, that a number of technocrats that have been hauled on board, I know some very personally, I know some on working relationship by virtue of my being in oil and gas downstream for quite a while. So I believe that we now know that we have a transformative hope agenda written by this present government, like or dislike, is poised to try and get our crude oil production to 3 million. And not only that, to aim for profitability and operational excellence. Now we have a sheriff, I dare say, who had a background in oil and gas, I dare say, Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the Minister for Petroleum Resources, has gone far and wide to pick. I won't say too little. I will say mouthful. It may be a bit too far away in the day, but you've got to be able to find those. So that is one. Secondly, in your intro, beautiful intro, Citizen Jones, we now have an 8-man. I should correct that to say 8-man and woman, because we have about 2 or 3 women in the executive.
Well, in the business, you know, there's such a thing
gender
as
neutral.
Yeah, it is gender neutral.
I've heard you.
A collective noun is a noun that collects everybody, man or woman, animal or.
Okay, so that's according to grammar.
Yeah.
But revisionists look at it very differently. And
you are not one. You are not one.
But many of our listeners will be there, because I have already heard it said, Citizen Jones, on a very serious note, that the appointments have been skewed to one section, has not recognized women, and that's the reason why I am putting that, because if Udi Ntia, the executive vice president upstream, somebody I know from a distance, though, very hardworking, and if Sophia Mbakwe, that sounds like a lady's name.
Yeah, yeah.
Executive Vice President, Business Services. And then we have the almighty Company Secretary and Chief Legal Officer, Madam Adesua Dozier, who I know, coming all the way from ExxonMobil upstream.
Mm-hmm.
I dare say we are in for a good time. But the tastes of the food at the end of the day will be in the eating.
Yeah.
I believe that for once, at least from this onset, we now have a man who is a man of his own. It can't be perfect. I'm not looking for perfection.
Essentially, did you see this shakeup coming?
Long time. I even expected this to have come much earlier. But in retrospect, I'm beginning to now then see that better late
than never.
Mm. I will also say, for the records, some of the people that have been asked to go, I also know some of them real personal relationship. So nothing into this, including the Yoruba chairman that's now been replaced by Kida. I'm talking of Chief Pius Akinyelure, who, I mean, is no hiding, has been the mentor and the lifter of Bola Ahmed Tinubu all through his career while in ExxonMobil. So if he can close eyes and decide that he was going to do that, let's give this man some kudos. And Mele Kyari, back in our days, I think I've said it a couple of times in Lagos Business School, he came for an executive session. And after we did the executive session, one of the things I remember, he got up, tall, lanky guy, and asked us, some of these things that you are saying, are they real? Are they possible? I said, yeah, everything is possible. And then, of course, the man had a lot of 9 lives. He's done quite a number of good things, no doubt about that. But, the perception out there is not looking very, 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 very neat and tidy. And for the very first time, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been able to steer the whole. We have a group managing director in Bayo Ojulari, a highly honed, and people have said that it's a Yoruba man. He's from
Kwara. He's a Kwara man.
So, no. Well, whether it's Yoruba, whether it's Igbo,
he's a Nigerian.
As far as I'm concerned, competence has trumped over rependal considerations. So we have a man for the very first time who has not skewed to the right, skewed to the left. And by the way, while we are talking about that, I think Bola Tinubu should also be recognized the fact that he's not also forgotten his Yoruba brothers. Adedapo Shegun is chief financial controller of the group, and Ronald Ewubari, chief operating officer. Will you say, in all honesty, that this has not spread around? What is now required is the political will for him to stand by them, for him to now look at the KPIs from day one. The KPIs have been zoomed out to them, including issues surrounding crude oil, swap, crude oil, Naira crude oil, and all that.
Okay.
I foresee interesting days ahead.
All right. To me, you've listened to our brother.
Yes.
Speaking from the position of a
veteran in the oil industry.
Yeah. How do you weigh in here?
Well, before now, I think
by the way, did you see the shake-up coming?
Yes, it's been mooted since late last year that the president is going to appoint new helmsmen at NNPC.
And women.
And women. Even this group managing director had been mentioned way back. I think I've heard this gist way back around late November, early December. But then also was the gist that the tenure of Kyari will be renewed. So it was just that if it happens, when it happens, we will be here to see it, and it has happened. These are men with pedigree, men and women with pedigree, because if you look at where they're coming from, what they've done, they are die in the wool oil people.
Technocrats.
Yeah. They know the hide and seek that could be played there. Now, for the chairman, I've known the chairman not personally, but I've known him in the public space for a very long time. For those that follow sport, he was one time the president of the Basketball Federation of Nigeria.
Okay.
So I knew it was an old man that came into basketball, but he turned around the fortune of the Nigerian Basketball Federation.
Okay.
And he also experienced the Nigerian factor there. Before he came into Nigerian Basketball Federation, there was really no funding, no sponsorship. Then he got there, and then he attracted sponsorship, and then the war started. So he had a long, drawn-out.
So you get the impression that there are people whose job it is to ensure that we don't leave the smoke-filled room.
It's just
it's called PhD. Put him down.
Apart from that, it's just a normal way of life. So it is part of reality. You must prepare for such in your life. Life is not El Dorado. So you must prepare to tackle people that would be putting obstacle in your ways. Yorubas will say that if you're going to dine with the devil, you must have a very long spoon. So for the chairman, though he's in non-executive position, but as the chairman of the board of NNPC, I believe that he's coming with a whole lot of experience as an oilman and as an administrator in the Nigerian space.
Yeah.
So he understands the shenanigans that we Nigerians can come. So I see him as like the buffer for the group managing director to whatever.
To swim without sinking.
Yes. You do your work. We would take all the political hits that you might be getting. For people that followed sports for a long time. I mean, it got a $12 million sponsorship for the NBBF.
Okay.
And then
basketball,
and then the war started. Everybody now wanted to be the president of NBBF because the soup has been cooked and it was now time to start eating, which is normal for us.
Yeah.
So for me, very astute choice as chairman. It comes with a whole lot of pedigree and experience. Of course, the group managing director is also a very experienced man coming from one of the big oil majors in Nigeria. So the president
was at ELF.
Yeah. So the president has raided Total, Shell, ExxonMobil, and these are the oil majors in the country. Shell. So what is left is for this team to perform. I know it's not just appointing the board members and the executives. Right from day one, these are your KPIs. These are the targets that you have been given. And these are men and women that are used to having targets.
All right. Mr. Fatunke, experts like you would tell me or remind us that on every barrel of crude oil, there are 42 byproducts. But over time in this country, to me, and you must be scandalized by this, we were always told about petrol go, petrol come. Nobody is talking about kerosene, aviation fuel,
LPO,
grease, and
LPFO,
and all these plastic chairs and stuff.
Yes.
So, would the jinx be broken?
I hope the jinx will be broken. However, I'm a bit careful in my expectations.
You are cautious.
We've seen this movie before. Okay? So, whatever is going to happen to you tomorrow, it's not going to be too different from what happened to you day before yesterday. I'm not talking about yesterday. You'll be foolish not to look at day before yesterday and then begin to. Nigeria is not a federation in the stricto sensu. of what a federation should be like.
Yeah.
You know, you talk about institutions, people should be able to do well and all that. To me, God bless you 20, 30 times.
Amen.
For that education that you have given me and you have given our listeners. Because not many people know what you know. There will always be banana peels. And these banana peels is going to start from our structure.
It has started already.
The National Assembly, forget not, when Bola Ahmed Tinubu came in and was going to make some structural changes in CBN, you and I know some of the fallouts. It's touching my people, it's not touching my people, and all that. To the extent that ranking senators got involved when structure was going to actually be flattened to look for best on best. As a ranking senator said, you cannot move the headquarters of control from Abuja to, say, a place like Lagos, or a place like Port Harcourt. Why? Because they have all their children all lined up there. And there is nothing different. Listeners can listen to me. Many of them that are there know exactly what I am doing. We have suffused the whole place with... okay, so let me be careful. I don't want to use dead woods. But people that are not fit for requirement. And if you
people that are not useful to the system.
No. They are useful to themselves and to their pockets. People that will not follow the process and procedures. These people have to be weeded out. The only advice I'm going to give, because we have technocrats like Tumi and I have agreed, ExxonMobil, Shell, Total.
The legal secretary is coming as a vice president, vice chair.
Now listen carefully. I know that once you, like they say, once you see what you are going to eat, you are going to keep quiet. Some of these people are not people.
No. They've seen.
The point I just want to knock down is, they can say, look, take your paper. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I'm not hungry. I have my business. Is it Omotonwa that is on the board? That you are going to say that is hungry or angry? Is it Henry Obi, who used to be an executive director in ExxonMobil, that took Mobil to the highest of heights from the southeast, that is on the board, that you say he's looking for something to eat? He was at one time the chief operating officer of the NNPCL downstream. And I can tell you, I know a lot of other shenanigans that came into it by the time Buhari came into form. Makanti Baru, respected, of blessed memory, respected this gentleman so highly. So that is one. What Cardoso is making an attempt to do, and what to me and Akifatunke and Jones Hussein keep on saying that they are the Lagos boys and all that. Yeah, they are the Lagos boys. And he said he's going to try and do his best to streamline. We started making a lot of noise. In CBN, one of the best gentlemen that I've ever come across was nominated to the board of CBN. He's from the southeast. We were all jubilating because we knew. Well, you know what the guy did? He said, we're not going to take it up. Because I know him personally, I said, oh, wow, you don't want to take up role. Well, I don't, you know. I mean, I won't mention his name. You know, it was like, well, I belong to the obedience, and we don't believe Bola Tinubu won the elections. He lost out. Same thing is waiting to happen to Bashir Ojulari and his group. First scale has been hauled beautifully. They say he's Yoruba. I don't think his Yoruba is from Kwara State. For For the very first time.
There are Yoruba elements in Kwara.
For the very first time.
Well, to me...
For the very first time. For the very first time.
Akin, to me, would remind you that Kwara State used to be known as West Central State.
But for a very long time, it has moved.
There are Hausas in Kwara, there are Yorubas in Kwara.
It's part of the. It's part of the northern. It's part of the northern state.
Nigeria is
former
a melting
General
pot.
David Jemi Bewon is from Kwara.
The former chairman or president of Arewa Consultative Forum.
The first
Sunday Awoni
is from
the first
Kwara.
military governor of Kwara State. David, Bangboye and co.
As a matter of fact, former Senate president considers himself as a northerner.
I do not
Senator
want to miss something very, very important. I've just told you, these people that have been appointed are humble technocrats.
Yeah.
I've just mentioned about 3 or 4 that are women. No.
Okay.
Please listen to this. Because I know there is a hot step and jump situation
8:30 for your time check. 8:30
that we are looking at. If these young ladies can work with men without distraction, you know what I'm talking about. Okay? And I'm serious about it. Because they can work with, they can hold their own.
Yeah.
A man smiles at you and then you say he's sexually harassing you and vice versa. No, come on. I'm not going there. But I am saying they have been lined up for positions of responsibility for the very first time, perhaps before the end of the tenure of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We might be getting a woman group
managing director.
If they do well. And I know they can do well because they have become vice presidents elsewhere. They went through the rank and files of men and they did well. Where women beat men silly.
Yeah.
Academically and morally. So I am just saying it's a new dawn for our country. I am very sure, Susan Jones, I am not preempting. By the time the phone calls come, and by the time we leave here, it's going to be no. All this and
all right, gentlemen, let me share the list of the 6 non-executive directors from each geopolitical zone. To me, I can hear this. Bello Rabiu, representing the Northwest. Yusuf Usman, representing the Northeast. Babs Omotowa, a former director of the Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas.
It was
from the North Central.
It was the one that refused to pay dividend that was not due.
Okay. Others are Austin Avuru for the South.
Well-known face, well-known name in the industry.
David Ige for the Southwest.
Very well-honed man.
And as you said, Henry Obi for the Southeast.
Ikem Obi, superb Southeasterner, devoid of bias, and the one who lifts people up. I say what I say out of. In fact, Henry Ikem Obi is a potential CEO of NNPCL. If you don't bring in all the shenanigans and all, what have you.
But I have 2 women here, Lydia Shehu Jafia and Aminu Said Ahmed. Okay, I hope I'm not mixing things up. They are going to represent their respective ministries on the board.
Well, we have Mumuni Dangazau, who should be the executive vice president looking at the downstream.
Okay.
Some of the cries we are going to get from politicians will now be, we have been marginalized. It's appointing this, it's appointing that, and all that. We will see how this pans out. But I like to say, and stick my neck out and say for the very first time, the organized private sector,
OPS.
the OPS, as we call them,
are fully represented.
Oil and gas, upstream, downstream. Now listen, because of my experience, there's nothing that is happening here in Nigeria that we are not seeing elsewhere. One of the KPIs that have been given to Ojulari, which I expect is going to work hard on, is to get the NNPC to now really be profit making. Allah.
And get them listed on the stock exchange.
Saudi Aramco, Allah, Petrobras.
Petrobras. Yeah.
It's a long road to stretch as long as some people don't put a spoke in the wheel. And people who can put spoke in the wheel
are waiting. They are
waiting somewhere
for an opportunity.
Either one way or the other to say, well, Bola Tinubu loyalists must not be in the National Assembly, must not be this, may not be that, and all that kind of thing. Let's be very, very careful. Let's put our eyes on the ball. These people that have been appointed, technocrats, who are going to change our fortunes around by the special grace of God, they may be the ones that will be the John the Baptist that will usher in your own Christ from your own area.
All right, gentlemen, to me, government aims to raise crude oil production to 2 million barrels per day by 2027.
And then
at the moment, I think we're doing a little under 2 million.
1.7, 1.8. Now it's dropped slightly.
And 3 million by 2030, alongside a gas production goal of 8 billion cubic feet daily by 2027, 10 billion cubic feet by 2030.
It's possible because all these people that are on this board have one time or the other pretended production or activities in their respective organization. In regards to gas, deep offshore production, they've been involved in major production activities so they are not new.
Let me humor you people here. I told somebody not too long ago that in the Second Republic, in Shagari's era, you will remember this as well as to me, a liter of petrol was 15 kobo.
Yes.
Sounds crazy. And the fellow laughed me to scorn. I said, no, it was 18 kobo. And that a crate of eggs,
PMS Super, PMS Ordinary.
Leaded, unleaded, all of those were here. So where did we drop the ball?
We dropped the ball because we got centralized in a way that it has to be me.
It wasn't even the centralization part.
The centralization I'm talking about is the day that by Fayat we agreed as a vision, as a mission in this country, that we are going to sell petrol at the same price all over, and we are going to introduce what we call PEF, Petroleum Ecological Funds, that brought in so much, that has taken so much trillions out of this country, which we are trying to get back into now, and we are struggling. And which a Daniel, in the name of Dangote, has now then come, and vested interest. I say vested interest. I'm not saying Dangote is a saint. But if you are looking at me as you are looking at me, Cecil Jones, and you say I'm not a saint, okay, bring your saint. Are you the saint or whoever? So if you cannot replicate me that you are calling a devil, and I think I am a saint, then you are not starting. We must take decisions in the medium, long, and short term. One of the things I heard, by the way, before I talk to you about what I heard, is that we have Olalekan Ogunleye, who is the executive vice president. Listen to his portfolio: gas, power, and new energy. To me, you are going to make a point about many of them they know where the bottlenecks have been.
And apart from that,
the area of new energy and gas, which we must get the political calculus going in respect of what is happening.
Actually, we have more gas than crude oil.
We have somebody who knows his other. Look, excuse me.
Sorry, I hear we have the largest deposit of gas on the planet.
When when retired General Obasanjo, I remember very well, when he came on board in 1999, media, every other person were all awash. No, why will you go and bring somebody like Okunjo-Iweala? The guy saw something and said, look, when I bring this lady, even though the politics eventually scorched her, but Obasanjo stood ramrod until the whole thing went babas. Ogunleye is a good, well-tested, somebody that Petrobras, Saudi Aramco will give everything to have in their corner. Now we have it in our corner. Please don't let us now begin to do all this kind of politics. And like I said, I go back to it. The women that have been taken on. See, Joe, I know you have a little knowledge with your working experience with oil and gas. You could be a geologist. You could be a medical doctor. You could be an accountant. You could be a lawyer. Does not stop you from being the very best you can bring in the field of engineering. That is the kind of training we have. That is the kind of background that has come. And these women are like men, oh. They are like men, oh.
Oh, yeah.
And they know their onions, and they can do. If Nigeria gives them a chance, we are getting an unusual opportunity to get women to the highest of the highest in our oil and gas industry.
Okay, I dare say we have pumped our listeners full with facts and figures. Let's bring in the listener. If you feel up to raising new issues, new questions, let's do so now. So one more time, the number is 0803 692 9933. What can you say regarding the shakeup at NNPCL between an overhaul and breaking a jinx? Hello, good morning to you.
How are you, my papa?
My sonny, I greet you.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yeah.
This is calling from Maja.
All right, go on.
Yeah. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Good morning.
The things of the petroleum sector can only be resolved after I started buying fuel at 300 naira per liter and below. Noting that I bought fuel to my car 70,000 naira yesterday, I cannot even fill it, the tank. Though I'm optimistic for the new team, accordingly. Regards to your guests, accountants of international report, who should understand the economic implication of this to the masses, instead of this premature praise. Citizens, my whole family always come to listen to you whenever you are on here before. But what has happened now? Opportunity is to blame people impacted by these harsh economic policies of the government, raising concern in respect of the present economic consideration faced by the majority.
Thank you. 60 seconds.
Let us, because of our children. Good morning, sir.
Thank you.
You see, one of the major problems we have in Nigeria is low wages. And it has gotten us to be thinking that things must be at rock bottom. No, what we need to do is to up our productivity and increase our wage level. So it is not a matter of buying petrol at 300 naira. The petroleum industry is highly capital intensive. It is so much money being pumped in. It is not millions, it is in billions of dollars. Dangote refinery is worth the guy pumped in more than $15 billion to get that refinery working.
19 billion.
So you can, if you're saying 300 naira, it's because you are not earning enough. If you are earning more than enough, buying petrol at what we are buying it now is not bad. It's because our income level is low.
To me,
we need to push it up.
We are accountants. You have just looked at one side of it. The gentleman that has called, I heard you loud. And I was just wondering, where are you coming from? Why are you saying 300 naira? Why not free? Why not 1 naira? How did you beg it to 300 naira? Your children that you are talking about, because you have children and I have children. I don't want my children to come to my grave and pee because their fathers and their mothers have chopped their tomorrow. You need to understand the basic of economics. And I hear what you have said. To me, went to one side. And I'm going to go from that side to ask you a very interesting question. What do you do for a living? What skills do you have? How have you been able to deploy these skills to get your productivity up on stage? It is not just enough for you to come on radio and make... I am not saying those who are looking at us, they don't have corruption. But that corruption also starts with some of the comments that you make.
Yeah, otherwise, our problems didn't start yesterday. It didn't even start last year. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
Citizen Jones, you are not rude. You are not rude. I don't want to call you a disciplined man. You are
I'm a broadcaster. I'm a broadcaster.
You are a disciplined... No, personally, you are a disciplined father. So, and, on a lighter note, I will want to... I am still under 30. I'm not up to 30 years. I will want to, if you have a daughter that you raised or somebody you raised as a woman, I will want to marry that person. Because I know you raised that person very well.
Where are you going? It's not... Come to the studio.
The way you are driving this car.
Let me go to the NNPC topic.
Yeah.
My name is Chike. My name is Chike. I'm calling for my papa. You see, the question I want to ask the guest, the way he's hyping the people that he's been appointed, that their profession, I understand that they are, professionals in their, duties. But the question I want to ask is that, what of the interest of the person that is, appointed them? What if the interest of that person is not aligning with their profession? What now happen?
Okay.
The interest of their boss might be different from their skills.
60 seconds out. Thank you.
That's a very interesting
yes,
one.
And I think that is already self-answered.
No. Hang on. You said, what if? But what if not?
Yeah.
The interest of the Oga self is in the KPIs that he has given them for them to achieve.
His point is that maybe the man is just deceiving. Maybe he want to whatever it is. And I'm asking him this question. You sit in your room, you conjure that his interest might not be the interest that you are looking for. But what if you are wrong? That his interest is for the interest of the overall.
For the greater good.
My point, therefore, is you may be right and you can also be wrong. I am hyping them because I have seen them being tested. They are not hungry people. They are not people that will just come out here and just want to steal the Commonwealth. They are self-made. Something similar to what Mrs. Okonjo-Iweala did not do when she was appointed. And we all were shouting that, why did you go and bring this Oyibo person? When Akinwumi Adesina was appointed, and you know where all these people are today. Don't let us be too pessimistic.
Yeah.
Let's be optimistic for once in this country, for God's sake.
Because we have seen more than enough. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Go on.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is the Jacob. I've not been following up on their details, not until today that I'm receiving some, hype about them. I just want to use all of them very well. One, you visit to perform, and they get it by maybe 2 million, and maybe by the end of this year, 3 million, maybe this 5 year, and maybe possibly increase it. It's to our own benefit.
Yeah.
But I just want to say that all these 2 million, 3 million barrels per day and all that, how are we going to benefit from it? Because one, all of us must benefit because we are already going through a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
It's still having to do with the doubts many folks
have.
Yeah.
And it is not it is not out of place because natural. We've seen. But you see, the thing is,
sorry, the French say the more things change, the more they remain the same.
They remain the same.
The thing with NNPC is, so far, is still our major. The oil industry is still our major.
Is the goose?
Yes. Of course. How will it affect the masses? The way it will affect the masses is there will be more income for the government, which will reflect on higher income to governors and local government chairmen who are now collecting their own federal allocation directly. It also means that we as citizens cannot just sit down and fold our hands. We must now touchlight our local government chairmen and governors and then the president and councillors. So we must monitor. It is not only monitoring Aso Rock. We must monitor our governors' lodge.
That's it,
we must monitor our local government chairman that is collecting maybe 300-400 million every month to ensure that.
And we must also get involved.
Yes, we must also get involved.
I know it's rough, but we must get involved.
Yeah,
you can't continue to say it's rough, and then a lot of ruffians. So if you just stay and hold your hands and expecting fuel to now sell at 300 naira.
Yeah. It is not.
It's part of the preaching that we get in religious circles. Work little, look for big gains.
Yeah. Work like an ant, eat like an elephant.
And the thing is, we complain about our salaries. So if we want to buy fuel at 300 naira, then we cannot also be complaining that entry level is earning 80,000. And that's why a whole lot of people are rushing to work in the bank, because the entry level of a bank is quite substantial. Yeah. And that is how it should be across board.
Another listener is here. Good morning to you.
Good morning to Jones and the guests in the studio.
Good morning,
My
sir.
name is Peter Usifu. I'm calling from Abanje, Nikotum.
Yes, sir.
The bringing on board of Bayo Ojulari is very much commendable. But what we want to see is that we want to see more refineries, especially the government refineries, spring up and work effectively and efficiently. The 4 refineries must work very well. And if possible, more refineries to come up to compete with Dangote and if possible again with other private refineries. So that Nigeria would be like Saudi Arabia and other OPEC countries that produce oil. You understand? So this also, I will also expect the new Hensman to make sure that there's less preferring of our oil to our borders, like Niger and others, and there'll be less shortage of oil, petroleum especially. And then, of course, the price of petroleum should come down very well. So the people have been saying that the president has not, be following the federal character, that he has not only been appointing people from his own place, that's Salis in Southwest. But we know that this man is from Kwara State, and Kwara State is not central.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I was just going to wonder, like my professor would say in class, seriously speaking, when things like this happen.
Okay, we're ending now. Time is tight, so how do you close?
The gentleman that is saying that we should have more refineries, what's stopping you? Why are you not coming together with some other people and go and set up your own refinery? The professor will ask us that kind of. Then it begins to now make you now think a bit backwards. My point, we cannot continue to do the same thing and expect different results.
Oh, yeah. Albert Einstein.
Since 1999, where we had Dr. Jackson Giles Obaseki, who came in 1999. We have now Professor Funshoku Kolokun in 2003. Engineer Abubakar Yaradua in 2007. Muhammad Sani Bakindo, 2009. Shehu Ladan, 2010. Austin Oniwon, 2010. Andrew Yakubu, 2012. Joseph Onuwa in 2014. Ibe Kachiku in 2015. Makanti Baru, 2014. And Emele Kiari, at least up till now. My last word, I'm expecting, seriously speaking, to see a woman
at the helm,
GMD of NNPC.
Oh, okay.
And it's in the pipeline. Please don't let us delay.
To me, we have less than 30 seconds to go.
Yes. Good appointment, and I hope they would raise the stock of NNPC. And most importantly for us Nigerians, we must also raise our productivity level. I want to be able to consult for you, do your tax for you or do your audit for you, and charge and give you my bill, and you'll be able to pay it.
All right.
Not on 300 naira level.
All right, that will be it on Citizen Jones this morning. We discussed shakeup at NNPCL between an overhaul and breaking a jinx. I want to thank the gentleman, Akin Fatunke, for your time.
Thank you very much, and thank you to our listeners.
To me, Olowe, for your intervention.
Thanks for having me, and it's my pleasure being here.
We're out of here. Good morning.